Cakes in video games. No, not like that. More like this. Whether it's a reward for completing a game, celebrating a player's birthday, or anything in between, there's a lot of iconic ones over the years, and also some not so iconic ones. And you know what? Why don't I make a tier list just for the heck of it? Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but I did try to find as many as I possibly could within reason. And just what will the criteria be for ranking these cakes?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
No, but honestly, I'll be taking into consideration the relevance of the cake in-game, visual appeal, and of course my own personal taste into the mix. But don't take it too seriously. I also will only be including cakes specifically. No pies, tarts, cookies, only cake. Alright, let's do this. The Super Mario series is a hefty one to start out with, but foundational. Cakes are a recurring motif throughout the series, such as the cake trap at the beginning of New Super Mario Bros. Or the Toy Time Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy. These two will go in C tier for me, as they're cute but a little plain and don't have as much significance in game. Then we have the Peach's birthday cake board in Mario Party, a solid A tier for me, as the aesthetic is completely on point and is, predictably, my favorite ever Mario Party board. Now, the extravagance of Peach's birthday cake would land it in S tier, but since it's an entire stage and not just a single cake, that seems a bit unfair. Gotta nerf it a little bit. I've never played it, but apparently Bowser's Inside Story has a little reward cake at the end, and it's super cute, with it being a reward for completing the game as well as the cuteness factor. This one gets an A tier placement. Next, we have the Paper Mario series, my beloved. First, the OG. Cook up a cake mix and you've got yourself a classic little cake topped with a little strawberry. It's a little plain but super adorable, and I love the segment with the Shy Guy, so this one gets put in A tier. Then there's the Strange Cake and the Shroom Cake. They're, okay. D tier. In Thousand Year Door, Zesty can cook up a mousse cake, heartful cake, couples cake, and choco cake. Not all of these cakes are created equal. Choco cake, C tier. It's plain and chocolate isn't really my fave cake flavor. Mousse cake, it's cute and pink, but not much else. That goes in B tier. Heartful cake. This one is adorable and it looks like a delicious strawberry flavor. A tier. The couples cake is tough. I love the unique design and recipe for it, but also, what is it? B tier. Also in Thousand Year Door is the cake from a fan in the Glitz Pit and the poisoned cake from Chapter 4. I love the shenanigans this causes, and I also happen to emulate my birthday cake based on this cake for my Thousand Year Door birthday party a couple years ago. So, A tier. Super Paper Mario adds the fruity cake, which gets a solid B tier from me. Super Mario Odyssey was a launch title for the Nintendo Switch, and for me, it did not disappoint. I love the secondary wedding theme, Peach Marry Me Instead. And what's a staple in a wedding? Cake! The frosted cake is extravagant, looks delectable, and is the prize gem of Shiveria. For me, it deserves an A tier. Then we have the absolute best out of the cakes in the Mario series, and that is, of course, the Super Mario 64 cake from the credits sequence. It's multi-tiered, topped with fruits, has cute little figurines of Peach and Mario, and an adorable glowing power star. It's the reward promised to the player from the very beginning, and it feels awesome to finally get it. This is the first cake going in the coveted favorite spots. Cooking Mama and its sequel, Dinner with Friends, were formative for me in my Nintendo DS obsessed years. Ah, the countless hours I'd spend playing them, though I didn't really get into any of the games after them. My all-time favorite recipe from Cooking Mama 2 was, you guessed it, the cake. It's so fun to make from scratch and the decorations are customizable. I also looked at the Cooking Mama wiki and found that the subsequent games have all kinds of adorable cakes too. Because of this, I will put this one in S tier. Now, I hope this one isn't cheating, but I just played this for a nostalgic Let's Play, but the Barbie as Sleeping Beauty game ends with the birthday party of Princess Rose, complete with a pretty birthday cake to blow out the candles on. I'm a huge fan. I'm giving it an A. Although I was never introduced to it in my childhood, the first time I ever played Minecraft, I was hooked. The cake in Minecraft is a unique crafted food item that's evolved over the years. You can even add colorful candles now. Starting from scratch in survival, it can take some work to get all the ingredients needed to craft the cake, but it's oh so rewarding. The Minecraft cake is iconic. As such, it deserves a solid A tier. I embarrassingly have 465 hours in Princess Maker 2 on Steam. I can't really explain why I love this game so much. I have nothing to defend myself with. There are 3 separate cakes in Princess Maker 2. The slice you can purchase at the restaurant to relieve your daughter's stress, the cake the daughter receives every year for her birthday, and if your relationship with the daughter is strong enough, the cake she bakes you for your birthday. Despite my love for this game, these cakes don't rank very high. The restaurant cake is kind of plain and not the best tool to relieve stress if aiming for any ending requiring high charisma. It's only useful in a pinch, really. C tier. The daughter's birthday cake is kind of cute, and I like the little tea party spread. Nothing much happens though. Also C tier. Then there's the player's birthday cake. It's really tedious to maintain the relationship stat with the daughter, especially when considering that free time lowers the stat. And what do you get in return? This ugly ass, plain ass looking cake. I thought it was my birthday. Why does this look like a holiday cake? I hate to say it in the words of Chapel Roan, but this is the first cake landing itself in F tier. Sorry about it. Listen, I freaking love Tomodachi Life, and each day I mourn that it never made it to Switch. It's got a wide variety of food items available to feed your islanders with and keep them happy. The US version features a black forest cake, carrot cake, cheesecake, chocolate cake, a fancy cupcake, red velvet cake, strawberry shortcake, and the birthday cake. I'll only be ranking the birthday cake, which you may only receive once a year on your actual birthday, or whatever you told the system your birthday is. I adore whenever games celebrate your real birthday, and this cake looks just like the ones that I love. It's giving A tier. Stardew Valley is a game quite near and dear to my heart, of which I go through phases of hyperfixation for. Cooking isn't a huge part of the game, but there is a rich collection of recipes available to collect. You probably saw this coming, but one of these is the pink cake. The recipe is quite strange as it uses melon as one of the ingredients, but honestly, I'm quite intrigued. It kind of reminds me of the book Thunder Cake from my childhood that uses pureed tomatoes in the recipe. Still, the sprite and artwork is cute, but a bit plain, and I wish we could see the little heart candies on top from the description. I bestow upon the pink cake B tier. I really fought with myself back and forth about including entries from games I've never played, but I decided to go with it. I'm sure the famous ones would be a sin to leave off anyway. Now, here's the thing about the Portal cake. It looks so not yummy at all. I mean, the recipe calls for pecan and coconut frosting, ew, and the appearance leaves something to be desired. But being arguably the most iconic cake in all of video gaming, it's got to land it in S tier. I've always been a huge fan of anything Tamagotchi. The Corner Shop games on DS were absolutely formative for me in ways I can't describe. Both Corner Shop 1 and 2 have a bakery/cake shop in which players must bake the perfect cakes per the customer's requests. So it's not exactly one particular cake, which may be cheating, but all the different shapes and flavors of cakes are just too cute. S tier. So I'm throwing in a rather downer of an entry, but it deserves to be in the running. Mouthwashing was not only my favorite game of 2024, it has now become one of my favorite titles of all time because of the sheer impact the story had on me. For the communal birthday party, the crew of the Tulpar get a single standard multicultural, multi-occasion cake. It's a party in a bag. Don't consume more than 2 slices though. Despite the questionable recipe, the cake is pretty cute and classic looking, and the theming throughout the game, no spoilers, make it pretty special. B tier. Death Stranding is another game I've never played, but had to add it to the list. Apparently there's a little birthday cake surprise for the player on their birthday. But okay, I'm sorry, this thing is pathetic. Like, what is that? Fondant? Raspberry? Ugly thin candles and that dumb looking font? This cake is a flop through and through. F tier. Time for Animal Crossing! We've got quite a few entries for this one, so buckle in. All variations of the wedding cake are going in B tier for me, although the cute one is my personal fave. Then there's Mom's homemade cake. I'm gonna be annoying as hell and rank each one individually. The kitty face one, B tier. Chocolate cake is C tier. The strawberry shortcake is also C tier. I don't like that little jelly coating on top. The carrot cake is D tier, don't at me. Who the hell puts whole carrots on top of a cake? The little dog and roses version is A tier for me. It's just so adorable. Finally, there's the happy chick variation, S tier. I wish I had intelligent points to defend myself with, but there's just something about this one that makes my brain happy. Finally, from Animal Crossing is the birthday cake. You saw this one coming. This is another cake I've recreated for a past birthday of mine. This one is perfect. She's beautiful. She looks like Linda Evangelista. She's a model.
Bitch, you're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista. You're a model.
I've actually only played Animal Crossing New Horizons, but all the past games versions of the birthday cake can go here too. This is another cake deserving of the Wingberry coveted favorites tier. Do y'all remember when McDonald's released the Grimace Shake? That was a wild time. They also released a little Grimace adventure game at the time as a promo. I loved it because I'm predictable and I love anything birthday themed. At the end of the game, you get to blow out the candles on a little birthday cake. This one's going in A tier because the cake is super cute, and I actually love birthday cakes from McDonald's. They're cheap and delicious. I really wanted to be extra thorough with this list, so here's some entries from games I know nothing about. From Dragon Age, we have the Found Cake, for which the description on the wiki reads, a soggy cake-like object that has probably seen better days. Flecks of dog spittle still cling to it. Yeah, that's gonna be an F tier. The Castlevania series has a birthday cake that can recover health, which can be purchased on the player's registered birthday. It looks like for the re-release it was renamed to the Sunday cake and can be purchased on Sundays in lieu of the registered Nintendo DS birthday. I mean, I love birthday cakes, it's real cute. Let's go B tier. Guild Wars has a chocolate omnomberry cake and a giant chocolate omnomberry cake. We're just gonna go on vibes here. And D tier. Metal Gear Solid 5 is another game that celebrates the player's birthday with a little cake. Now, sheet cakes are some of my faves ever, but ugly. C tier. I'll be the first to admit that I'm kind of a Genshin hater, but man, that cake you get on your birthday is gorgeous. I'm going to lump all the variations together and give it a solid A tier. My Disney Kitchen has a little cake making minigame that's super fun and cute. This one's a solid B tier. I told y'all I'm trying to be thorough. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of those games that I'd give anything to experience for the first time again. I love the cooking mechanic and definitely would not have made it through my playthrough without the buffs from cooking. There's the carrot cake. Why are there so many carrot cakes? Ew, D tier. The nut cake? This one's kind of sus to me. C tier though. Then there's the fruit cake, my beloved. One of the very best cakes I've ever had in my entire life was a milk and berries tres leches cake that looked a lot like this. It's also Princess Zelda's absolute favorite, so it only makes sense that it's one of my favorites as well. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot the monster cake. Let's just go purely based on vibes here. C tier. I feel like such a poser even saying this, but the game from which my namesake comes from, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I've never played, though I have watched a great deal of a playthrough of the Torna DLC. It's something. Anyway, in the Torna DLC, Jin can whip up a wingberry cake. Because it inspired my name, the wingberry cake shall take its place in the favorites tier. Well, that about wraps it up. I'm sure there's ones I missed, so if I did miss your favorite, please tell me which one in the comments and I'll reply with an honorary ranking in the tier list. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye!